And this is about Maisie, the 909 cleaning lady's abode. The 909 is the name of a jazz club that she cleans for a living. "15 minutes after finishing her shift at the 909, she arrived at the door of 185 Kensal Heights, to which is affixed a plaque that they bought in Callelonga, proclaiming the name of their abode to be Shangri-La, a souvenir of Viva España holidays some 30 years ago, when the kids were small. Now these self-same kids have got their own kids. Ain't it funny," she often muses, "how time slips right on away." So the man in the street, this nondescript block of council flats, is exactly that. Yet to Maisie and her Bill, this fourth floor apartment is their pride and joy, their Shangri-La-di-da. When bringing up the kids, they were contented tenants of a semi in Dagenham. 4 bedrooms, front and back garden. They were happy days indeed. Then, when the last one of the 4 had flown the nest, the council tempted them to leave with the offer of this brand sparkling new 2-bedroom apartment, which was absolutely mildew-free, which is now more than adequate for their needs. This is where our formidable cleaning lady is at peace with the world. More than happy she is with a little lot. Feel blessed, I do. There was no need to hold her usual "Yoo-hoo, Bill," as today the love of her life is away playing bowls at the recreation grounds indoor bowling facility, which enables him and his mates to play bowls all the year round. She kicks off her baseball boots, then removes her street attire with all the flamboyance of a burlesque stripper, while simultaneously filling the kettle and popping 2 teaspoonfuls of tea, and 1 for the pot, into the country cottage teapot. Then, when the kettle utters its first peep, she pours water in the teapot, replaces the lid, then ritualistically places the customised self-knitted tea cosy over it, and leaves it to stand the arbitrary 5 minutes, which is just the right period of infusion time, the way she likes her tea to brew. Meanwhile, she slides open the balcony's French doors and stands for a moment just savouring the aroma and spectacle of this, her very own sight for sore eyes. When they first moved in, to the uninitiated, this was just a common old garden 10x4 balcony. Yet Maisie immediately realised the potential of this modest area for it to become the very icing on the cake of her Shangri-La. Now, some 10 years since its conception, although it's still early in the year, all manner of horticultural activity is already occurring. Green shoots are impatiently popping their little heads all over the place, in haste to begin their cycle of life all over again. The daffodils are already strutting their stuff, and the wisteria has begun to re-establish itself upon Bill's constructed trellis work, while the sweet peas are just little green dots in the soil. Yet Maisie can sense that they're just itching to get on their way, to make an even better show than they did last year. Maisie nurses these delightful little flowers, meticulously so through their whole life cycle, from spring to, believe it or not, nearly November, due in no short measure to her attentive de-heading and her encouraging words that remain a mass of colour until the very last possible minute. They do her proud, they do, her little sweet peas. Even in the deepest of winters, this little balcony puts on a decent show, a little more subdued perhaps, but a good show nevertheless. Maisie explains, in the winter, you've just got to open your eyes a little wider, that's all. Whatever the time of the year, you'll find her titivating with tender loving care every last piece of plant life that is fortunate enough to be residing in this veritable little fragment of this earth of ours. She unknowingly has developed a horticultural system which, if it wasn't for its simplicity, would be almost revolutionary. She, in her wisdom, when first confronted with the then barren balcony, quickly realised that after enjoying their front and back gardens in Dagenham for donkey's years, something needed to be done, it did. And she did, which resulted in her devising what she called her pyramid system, which enables her to cultivate the equivalent of 4 acres of arable land within the confines of her beloved balcony, which grew on her, and is now her little oasis, which she can exercise her green little fingers to her heart's content, which, believe me, the people of Kew should be queuing up to view. When she was younger, she would dream of perhaps having a country cottage garden with a stream running through, which was never to be. Yet it mattered not in the slightest. This little ingenious balcony of hers now satisfied her every need, and more besides. On any given summer's day, it's a sight to behold, which spills over into their delightful little home. The honeybees flit from flower to flower, hardly believing their good fortune. They even pollinate the cut flowers in the vase on the top of the telly with impunity, they do. It must have been word of mouth that led them here, as it's quite a considerable flight from the recreation grounds, which is the only other place around here with enough flowers to sustain even half a hive. Maisie explains, they love it here, do my little bees. Happy as Larry they are. As if to emphasise the point, she then burst forth into singing a little ditty, appropriate for the mood of the day, which went along the lines of something like, I'm a busy, busy, busy bee, I'm as busy as a bee can be, which led me into pondering whether it was possible, really possible, that a person could find one's kingdom in just one 10x4 suburban balcony. On observing the jaunty demeanour of our dear Maisie, I must conclude that the affirmative is very much the case. She pours the now fully infused amber liquid into the little bone china teacup, which has been sat patiently waiting its matching Crown Derby saucer, whereupon she adds a little milk, the 2 cubes of sugar picked up with the songs that once belonged to her paternal grandmother, who passed away just 2 days before her and Bill's wedding day. Lovely lady she was too, always asked me, 1 lump or 2, even though she knew I only ever took 2. She slips in after 8 minutes out of its sleeve and settled down into her Parker Knoll armchair, which sits beside her and Bill's weather-beaten Chesterfield, the self-same that his dad used to sit on, which is sort of Turin shroud-like in his father's absence, has taken on the mould of Bill's heart instead of his. She's just in time for the Archers on the radio, which usually leads to her nodding off, whilst waiting for the only man in her life, from being a childhood sweetheart to father of 4, and now doting grandfather of 6. Well and truly blessed I am. Her eye is now slightly ajar, because of the buzz of the bumblebee, one of the first of the season, who was now settling down on the untouched after 8 mints, who was very grateful for this unexpected treat. They love it here, she smiled, and I do too.